Mathematics test. 60 minutes and 60 questions. Directions. Once you have solved each problem, select your answer from the choices and fill in the matching bubble on your answer sheet. Your time is limited, so do not remain too long on any single question. Answer as many questions as you can, marking the more difficult ones to return to if you have extra time at the end of the test. You are not penalized for guessing. You may use your calculator during the entire math portion of the test. Note: unless told otherwise, assume the following. 1. The word line refers to a straight line. 2. The word average refers to an arithmetic mean. 3. Geometric figures lie in a plane. Or 4. Figures illustrated in questions are not necessarily drawn to scale. Question 1. A line passes through the points -5 to 1 and 3 to 7 in the standard XY coordinate plane. The slope of the line: A is undefined, B is negative, C is 0, D is positive, or E cannot be determined from the given information. Question 2. If it is true that z squared minus 6 equals 19, then z squared plus 6 equals f5, g radical 7, h7, j25, or k31. Question 3. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to b, parentheses, b minus 3, parentheses, minus z, parentheses, 2 plus b, parentheses? A, negative 11b minus 14. B, negative 11b plus 2. C, b squared minus 10b minus 14. D, b squared minus 10b plus 2. Or E, negative 11b cubed minus 14. Question 4. If the square root of a number s is approximately 6.07082, then s is between which of the two following pairs of integers? F 2 and 3, G 3 and 4, H 6 and 7, J 13 and 14, or K 36 and 48. Question 5. Which of the following inequalities orders the numbers 0.25, 0.05, and 1/5 from least to greatest? A, 0.25 is less than 1/5, which is less than 0.05. B, 0.25 is less than 0.05, which is less than 1/5. C, 0.05, which is less than 1/5, which is less than 0.25. D, 0.05, which is less than 0.25, which is less than 1/5. Or E, 1/5 is less than 0.25, which is less than 0.05. Question 6. Tamara is having a blue stone liner installed around her 120-foot perimeter pool. The water is wet. Pool company charges a $675 service fee, plus a certain dollar amount per foot of liner. If Tamara paid $2,475 for the entire installation, what was the dollar amount per foot of liner? F, $750, G, $12, H, $15, J, $21, or K, $26? Question 7. In the figure below, triangle LMN MN is an equilateral triangle. Side LM is bisected by O. Side LN is bisected by P, and ON bisects angle LNM. What is the degree measure of angle PON? A, 15 degrees. B, 30 degrees. C, 45 degrees. D, 60 degrees. Or E, 120 degrees. Question 8. Terry sold 178 tacos on Tuesday from his taco stand. This was 23 more than 5 times the number of tacos he sold last Tuesday. How many tacos did Terry sell from his taco stand last Tuesday? F, 13, G, 31, H, 40, J, 59, or K, 775. Question 9. A box contains 20 various chocolates, 6 caramels, 2 coconuts, 5 milk chocolates, 4 dark chocolates, and 3 hazelnuts. If one piece of chocolate is randomly selected from the box, what is the probability that it will not be the dark chocolate? A, 1/5, B, 1/4, C, 2/5, D, 4/5, or E, 5/6. Question 10. 2 points, A and B, coordinates 2, 3, are on the standard XY coordinate plane. Their midpoint is the point M, coordinate -1, -1. What are the coordinates of A? F, -4, -5, G, -4, 2, H, 0, 1, J, 0, 4, or K, 3, -1. Question 11. When assessing a crime scene, Detective Gates made the true statement at least one of the burglars were proficient with a lockpick. Which of the following statements must be false? All of the burglars were proficient with lockpicks. B, some of the burglars were proficient with lockpicks. C, at most one of the burglars was proficient with a lockpick. D, at most one of the burglars was not proficient with the lockpick. Or E, all of the burglars were not proficient with lockpicks. Question 12. Which of the following expressions is equivalent to parentheses 4x plus 3 parentheses negative x plus 6 parentheses? F, x plus 6, G, x plus 18, H, negative 4x squared plus 18, J, negative 4x squared minus 3x plus 18, or K, negative 4x squared plus 21x plus 18. Question 13. A company that makes and sells mini action figures uses cubic cardboard boxes with a side length of 2 inches to package the action figures. The boxes are shipped in rectangular crates that are 20 inches in width, 16 inches in length, and 12 inches in height. What is the maximum number of cardboard boxes containing action figures that can be shipped in the crates? A, 24, B, 72, C, 96, D, 240, or E, 480. Question 14. In the figure below, points A, B, C, and D are collinear. BE and CE are rays intersecting at point E. The measure of angle ABE is 121 degrees, and the measure of DCE is 137 degrees. What is the measure of angle BEC? F 78, G 82, H 88, J 94, or K 102. Use the following information to answer questions 15 through 17. Selena's Salty Taffy and Walter's Watery Taffy both sell bags of saltwater taffy. The table below shows the prices after tax of each bag of saltwater taffy at each store. At both stores, there is a linear relationship between the price of a bag and the number of pieces of saltwater taffy in the bag. There are only bags of saltwater taffy available at each store. 15. Rodrigo has $8 in quarters to spend on saltwater taffy. He wants to purchase a bag of 15 pieces of saltwater taffy from Walter's Watery Taffy and another bag of 15 pieces of saltwater taffy from Selena's Salty Taffy. Does Rodrigo have enough money to make these purchases? If so, how many quarters does he have left over? If not, how many quarters short of making the purchase is he? Note, a quarter is worth 25 cents. A. Yes, 1 quarter left over. B. Yes, 2 quarters left over. C. No, 1 quarter short. D. No, 2 quarters short. Or E. No, 3 quarters short. Question 16. What is the difference in cost between a piece of saltwater taffy from Walter's Watery Taffy and a piece of saltwater taffy from Selena's Salty Taffy? F. 3 cents. G. 5 cents. H. 7 cents. J. 15 cents. Or K. 20 cents. Question 17. Which of the following equations gives the relationship between the price in dollars, P, and the number of pieces of saltwater taffy, S, in a bag of saltwater taffy from Walter's Watery Taffy? A. P equals 0.25x. B. P equals 0.25x plus 2.5. C. P equals 0.3x. D. P equals 1.5 minus 0.2x. E. P equals 3.9 minus S. Question 18. At a construction site, a builder plans to cut down an 8-foot by 9-foot piece of plywood. She plans to discard any pieces that she cuts off. She keeps an exactly 7-foot by 6-foot area of the plywood. What is the area in square feet of the pieces of plywood that are discarded? F 4, G 12, H 30, J 33, or K 42. Question 19. The floor plan for Kamal's comic book shop is shown in the figure below with dimensions given in feet. Kamal has commissioned an artist to paint a fantasy epic mural on the walls of the shop and must provide the artist with the total length of the walls to be painted, shown by the lines of this floor plan. According to the floor plan, which of the following is closest to the total length in feet of the walls that Kamal should quote to the artist? A. 20, B. 40, C. 50, D. 60, or E. 200. Question 20. Which of the following XY pairs is the solution to the system of equations negative 3x plus y equals negative 8 and x plus 2y equals 12? F. Parentheses 2, 1, parentheses. G. Parentheses 2, 4. parentheses, H, parentheses, 4, 3, parentheses, J, parentheses, 4, 4, parentheses, or K, parentheses, 5, 2, parentheses. Question 21. The function f is defined as f of x equals negative 3x squared plus 3x cubed. What is f of negative 3? A, negative 108. B, negative 54. C, negative 9. D, 54. E, 108. Question 22. The circle below has the diameter wx and point y on the circle. The measure of angle wxy is 40 degrees, and the measure of minor arc wy is 80 degrees. What is the measure of minor yx? F, 60 degrees. G, 90 degrees. H, 100 degrees. J, 120 degrees, or K, 160 degrees. Question 23. In a machine, a particular gear completes a rotation in 6 seconds. Another gear completes a rotation in 9 seconds. At a certain instant, both gears complete their rotations at exactly the same time. How many seconds will elapse before the two gears complete their rotations at exactly the same time again? A, 3. B, 15. C, 18. D, 42. E, 54. Question 24. Given that A does not equal 0, the value of which of the following expressions is always negative? F, negative 2A. G, 2A. H, negative 2, absolute value A. J, absolute value 2A. K, absolute value of A squared. Question 25. In the figure below, RQ is parallel to TU, and RU and QT intersect at the point S. The given lengths are in centimeters. What is the length in centimeters of ST? A, 4. B, 5. C, 6. D, 10. E, 12. Question 26. 50% of 320 is equal to 80% of what number? F, 128. G, 200. H, 256. J, 400. Or K, 512. Question 27. Which of the following inequalities is equivalent to negative 3t plus 12s is less than 3s plus 15? A, t is greater than negative 5s minus 5. B, t is greater than negative 3s minus 5. C, t is less than negative 3s minus 5. T is less than 3s minus 5. Or E, t is greater than 3s minus 5. Question 28. Given that x is greater than or equal to 7 and x plus y is less than or equal to 4, what is the greatest possible value of y? F, negative 4. G, negative 3. H, 0. J, 3. K, 4. Question 29. The perimeter of a rectangle WXYZ is 144 millimeters. The ratio of side lengths WX XY is 2 to 7. What is the length in millimeters of XY? A. 12, B. 32, C. 44, D. 56, or E. 112. Question 30. The square ABCD shown below has side lengths of 9 feet. The area of a certain triangle is equal to the area of the square ABCD. If the height of the triangle is 9 feet, what is the length in feet of the base of the triangle? F 3, G 6, H 9, J 12, or K 18. Question 31. A circle and a parabola are graphed on the same standard XY coordinate plane. The parabola has its vertex at 0, 0, a vertical axis of symmetry, and passes through the point parentheses 1, negative 3, parentheses. The circle has its center at parentheses 1, negative 5, parentheses, and a radius of 2. How many points of intersection do the parabola and the circle share? A. 0, B. 1, C. 2, D. 3, or E. 4. Question 32. The logistic equation for the growth of an initial population of 5 in thousands organisms of a particular bacteria after 2 hours is P equals K divided by 1 plus K minus 5 over 5 e to the negative second power, where K in thousands denotes the carrying capacity. Given that e to the negative second power equals 0.135, which the following is closest to the population P in thousands of the bacteria if the carrying capacity is 10 in thousands? F 1.95, G 3.55, H 6.74, J 8.81, or K 10.92. Question 33. The triangle RST is on the standard XY coordinate plane shown below. What is the length and coordination units of the altitude from T to RS? A. 6, B. 7, C. 14, D. 2 radical 10, or E. radical 61. 34. In a right triangle, the angle with measure B has cosine B equals 35 over 37 and tan B equals 12 over 35. What is the value of sine B? F 12 over radical 37, G 12 over 37, H 12 over 35, J 37 over 35, or K 37 over 12. Use the following information to answer questions 35 through 38. In the figure below, ABCD is a square and EFGH is a rectangle. Point H is the midpoint of AD, point E is the midpoint of AH, and point J is the midpoint of BC. KJ, which is perpendicular to BC, is the radius of a quarter circle. All given lengths are in inches. Question 35. The length of GH is what percent of the length of CD? A. 10.4%, B. 41.6%, C. 42.4%, or D. 52%, or E. 65%. Question 36. What is the length in inches of CE? F. 10, G. 14, H. 24, J. radical 70, or K. radical 128. Question 37. What is the length in inches of arc KC? A, pi over 2, B, pi, C, 2 pi, D, 4 pi, or E, 8 pi. Question 38. The figure is placed on the standard XY coordinate plane with point J positioned at the origin. Sides AD and BC parallel to the x-axis, and 1x corresponding to one coordinate unit. At which of the following y coordinates will point F be located under this placement? F, negative 2.8, G, negative 4, H, negative 5.2, J, negative 8, or K, negative 13.2. Question 33. The triangle RST. Question 39. Which of the following trigonometric functions has an amplitude of 3? Note, the amplitude of a trigonometric function is half the positive difference between the minimum and maximum values of the function. A, g of x equals sine 3 over 2x. B, g of x equals 3 sine x. C, g of x equals 3 over 2 cosine x. D, g of x equals cosine 3 of x. Or E, g of x equals 3 tan x. 40. A cone with radius in centimeters has a volume of 7 cubic centimeters and a height of 5 centimeters. What is the value of n? Note, the volume of a cone with radius r is 1/3 pi r squared h. F. 7 over 5 pi. G. Radical 5 over 7 pi. H. Radical 5 over 21 pi. J. Radical 21 over 5 pi. And then K. Radical 35 over 3 pi. Question 41. Oliver is going on a 3-day vacation to Bahamas. He budgets $70 for moped rentals over the 3 days and is comparing 2 moped rental companies. XYZ Moped Company charges $20 per day and $0.1 per mile. Quick Mopeds charge $18 per day and $0.2 per mile. Which company, if either, allows him to travel more miles over the 3 days, and how many more given his budget? Note, ignore taxes in your calculations. A. XYZ 10 miles. B. XYZ 20 miles. C. Quick Mopeds 16 miles. D. Quick Mopeds 40 miles. And E. The 2 companies provide the same maximum miles. Question 42. On a particular day, a carpenter is building a set of chairs with the relationship between the total of deck chairs in his workshop, Y chairs, and the elapsed time, X hours, modeled by the equation -6 equals X minus 3Y. Which of the following graphs in the standard XY coordinate plane models the equation for positive values of X and Y? F graph, G graph, H graph, J graph, or K graph? Question 43. For all positive values of z, 15z to the 10th power minus 25z to the 5th power over 5z to the 5th power equals A, 3z to the second minus 5. B, 3z to the second minus 5z. C, 3z to the fifth power minus 5. D, 3z fifth to the fifth minus 5z. Or E, 3z to the fifth power minus 25z squared. Question 44. An architect is planning a circular park with two intersecting walking paths, as shown in the figure below. The lengths of the path segments, which are also shown in the figure, will be in feet. Which is the value of x? Note, in a circle when two chords intersect, the product of the lengths of the segments of the first chord equals the product of the lengths of the segments of the second chord. F, 7. G, 15.5, H, 32.5, J, 50, K, 130. Question 45. In an algebraic topology course, 24 students sat for the final exam. The table shows the frequency of scores earned by students taking the final exam divided into a group of score ranges. In which score range does the median score for the final exam fall? A, 90 to 100. B, 80 to 89. C, 70 to 79. D, 60 to 69. Or 0 to 59. Question 46. A solar power company produces the table of experimental data below for two variables, x and y. The researchers at the company predict that the variable y varies inversely with x. Based on the given data, which of the following values is closest to the constant of variation? Note, the variable y varies inversely with the variable x provided that y equals k over x for some non-zero constant k called the constant of variation. F, negative 1.33, G, 0.24, H, 0.73, J, 2.17, or K, 4.18. Question 47. The angle of elevation to the rooftop of a building from a location on a level street 70 feet below the rooftop of the building is 50 degrees. Which of the following is closest to the distance from the base of the building to the location on the level street in feet? Note equals sine 50 degrees equals 0.77, cosine 50 degrees equals 0.64, and tan 50 degrees equals 1.19. A, 45, B, 50, C, 59, D, 70, or E, 83. Question 48. In one of his herbal tea recipes, Jared uses 3 1/2 teaspoons of fresh ginger for each 4 1/2 cups of water. If Jared purchases 5 1/4 teaspoons of fresh ginger and wants to use all of it to brew herbal tea, how many cups of water should he use to maintain the same ratio of ingredients as his original recipe? F, 5 1/4, G, 5 1/2, H, 6 1/2, J, 6 3/4, or K, 8. Question 49. Two matrices are provided below. A equals -1, 1, -1, 1, 1, 1. B equals -1, -1, 1, 1, 1, 2. Which of the following is the product AB of the two matrices? A, -1, 1, -1, 2, 1, 2. B, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 2. C, -1, -1, 2, -1, 1, 2. D, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 2. Or E, 0, 2, 1, 0, 2, 1, 203. Question 50. A professor in his math class hands out note cards to his 16 students with the numbers 1 through 16 written on them. He tells his class to form pairs for a game by using the rule that the sum of the pair of numbers is a perfect square. He creates an additional rule that every pair of students must follow this rule. Assuming all students correctly form their pairs, the student holding which number must have been paired with the student holding the number 8? F1, G2, H5, J8, or K16. Question 51. The line through the points parentheses 3, 0, parentheses, and parentheses 0, -5, parentheses is graphed on the standard XY coordinate plane. Any line that is perpendicular to the given line must have a slope equal to which of the following values? A, -0.6, B, -0.3, C, 0.3, D, 0.6, or E, 1.7. Question 52. A cannon is fired from the top of a hill. The height above ground level, h units, of the cannonball t seconds after it is fired is given by the equation h equal -3t squared plus 15t plus 42. An equivalent factored form of this equation shows that the cannonball F is fired from a hill that is 15 units tall. G reaches its height maximum at 2 seconds after being fired. H reaches its maximum height at 7 seconds after being fired. Or J hits the ground 2 seconds after being fired. Or K hits the ground 7 seconds after being fired. Question 53. In the standard XY coordinate plane below, the shaded portion of the graph is represented by which of the following systems of linear inequalities? A. Y is less than or equal to -4/3x plus 4, and y is greater than or equal to 3/4 x minus 6. B. Y is greater than or equal to -4/3x plus 4, and y is less than or equal to 3/4 x minus 6. C. Y is greater than or equal to -4/3x plus 4, and y is greater than or equal to 3/4 x minus 6. D is y is less than or equal to -3/4x plus 4, and y is less than or equal to 4/3x minus 6, and E is y is greater to or equals -3/4x plus 4, and y is greater than or equal to 4/3x minus 6. Question 54. The area of the trapezoid ABCD in the figure below is 40 square millimeters. What is the length in millimeters of BC denoted by x? F 2 radical 2, G, 4 radical 2, H, 8 radical 2, J, 2 radical 3, or K, 4 radical 3. Question 55. In the quadratic expression below, parentheses x plus 3 and parentheses x minus 2 are factors. What are the values of m and n? X squared plus radical x squared plus parentheses m minus n parentheses x plus 2 minus 8. A, negative 2 is m and negative 3 is n. B, 1 is m and 2 is n. C, 2 is m and 3 is n. D, 3 is m and 2 is n. E, 3 is m and 3 is n. Question 56. In an arithmetic sequence of 9 terms, the first term is 4/5. What is the quotient of the median and the mean of the sequence? F, 4/5. G, 1. H, 4. J, 5. K, 9. Question 57. Let P and Q be positive integers such that parentheses cubic root of 2 parentheses to the P power equals 8 to the Q power. What is the value of Q over P? A, 1/9, B, 2/3, C, 1, D, 3, and E, 9. Question 58. The graph of the equation y equals 37x minus 97 over 49x minus 88 is in the standard xy coordinate plane. Which of the following is the linear equation for its only vertical asymptote? F, x equals 37 over 49. G, x equals 49 over 37. H, x equals 88 over 49. J, x equals 88 over 97. Or K, x equals 97 over 37. A conic section is obtained when a plane is intersected with a pair of right circle cones, as shown below. The plane is neither parallel nor perpendicular to the bases of the cones and does intersect exactly one of the bases of the cones. Which of the following figure shows the shape of the intersection? A figure, B figure, C figure, D figure, or E figure? Question 60. In the circle below with center R, the length of the radius RT is 6 millimeters. The point U on the circle is collinear with RS, which has a length of 5 millimeters. The angle RST is a right angle. When angle TRU is measured in degrees, which of the following expressions represent the length in millimeters of arc TU? F, pi over 15 parentheses sine to the negative first power of 5/6 parentheses parentheses. G, pi over 15 parentheses cosine to the negative first power parentheses of 5/6 parentheses parentheses. H, pi over 30 parentheses psi to the negative 1 power parentheses 5/6 parentheses parentheses. J, pi 30 over 30, cosine negative 1 power, parentheses 5/6, parentheses, or K, pi over 30, parentheses tan to the negative first power, parentheses 5/6, parentheses. End of test 2. Stop. Do not go on to the next page until told to do so.